And go around with roll call, if you will.
Dave Spencer,
Eric Spencer.
Matt Himmel.
Mark Susie.
Andre Benetson.
Jolene Woodmansee.
Jennifer Kaufman.
And Gail Bruin. Number 2 is approval of our minutes from our January 24th meeting.
Hey, Gail, can I interrupt?
Minutes?
Can you turn your camera on?
Pardon me?
Can
Oh,
you turn the camera on?
sorry about that.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. That's my mistake. There we go.
There we go.
Apologize for
everybody.
I was wondering. Yes, sorry, yeah.
that.
This voice from afar.
There you go.
Good. Okay, we've just had a motion to approve minutes.
I second it.
Any discussion? If not, can we vote to approve the minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Yeah.
Matt, are you voting?
Hi, sorry.
That's good. All right, minutes are approved.
Uncommitted.
Very controversial vote.
Now we'd like to have a motion to move our new business ahead of old business because we have visitors here and we like to expedite your time. So could we have a motion to do that?
Yeah, I move that we move the new business to the next position.
Okay,
I second it.
all right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Hi,
All right, we're gonna move on to new business then. And that would be our friends from the general store.
So things are progressing very good, actually. The windows are in, getting installed. The retaining wall is like 90% complete. You just gotta finish grading and do the riprap on the side of the bank. And the retaining wall will be 100%. The windows should be done by mid next week, 100%.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I know I went down to see the one that had been installed. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I go through it.
Head of the table.
You're welcome to, if you want to look at the.
Hi, how are you? I'm Gail Bruin. We have our members of the district here. One up there, Matt Hamill, Eric,
Eric.
and David Spencer
Dave.
here.
Okay,
And I'm Jennifer Kaufman, Director of Planning and Development.
okay. I am down at 934 Store Road,
Great.
Okay, good.
but I changed my plans. The way I talk with you, I just want to keep a,
Okay, yeah, well,
Okay.
we're here
We're-
now and we will
we're-
get to you. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
okay.
So short of the trim, I have a structural engineer that's given us a drawing. I gotta look over them before I submit them, but I will be submitting those this week.
I'm sorry, is this for the trim?
No, this
For
is
the-
for the basement, for the structural. There's a little bit of structural issues down in the
Oh,
basement,
okay.
but I have a civil, he's doing all that. So we got the drawings. I just gotta overlook them and just make sure everything's good
Mhm.
before I submit them.
Okay,
So that'll be this week.
and does that impact the side porch?
No,
No,
Nope.
okay. So you're gonna do that separately,
yes,
okay. And in terms of the windows, the one up on the second level that has been put in, I know I went down and looked at it.
yes.
The trim will be filling in around the.
That is correct. The
Okay.
trim, I have this is the product that we're using. It's called Lifespan and it's a real wood, but it's almost like pressure treated. It is. It doesn't collect moisture, nothing. It's a lot better than, we could have used AZEK, but that's a man-made material, but this is natural. It's all wood. So this is what we use instead. Okay.
And
So you
the-
aren't using the the product that Lincoln provided with the windows,
No, we want the lifespan.
because you need to be able to customize the.
Well, not only that, it's just that this material is gonna be more durable. Longer lasting because it's got the same
Yeah.
products as like the ACQ for the pressure treated, which is what
Okay.
this material is made out of.
And the width of the trim will be,
It's the same as what was on there. So the width of the trim that was on there was 4 3/4, but I'm making it 5 just so I can remove that little piece of siding to get rid of the birds.
okay,
So it looks good.
So it's called lifespan?
Lifespan,
Yeah, I
correct?
just Googled it, yeah.
and then the solar panels, this is new. Is, you want to?
All right, yeah, so I am in the process of with Tesla for the solar panels, but I am far from having decided to even go with them.
Oh, okay.
They are trying
Okay.
to go a little ahead of
I see.
the music, that's the way, so
Okay,
at this time, I have not. It's, the communication, it's all, they not, the communication is a little tricky with them, so it's all online so right now, nothing has been decided. I'm not even sure I'm gonna,
oh, okay.
do
So
that
sort of
with them.
preliminary to put
Yeah.
it in our package.
yeah.
Yeah, that was not the message I got from
Okay.
Tesla.
Yeah,
so.
no,
Okay.
they kind of pushy,
Yeah.
of course, and, but I haven't signed anything.
Okay,
I haven't committed anything,
Okay.
so.
all right,
And I'm still at the stage since we're still looking at a number of panels and everything, and I'm still at the stage where deciding how many, if I
Uh-huh.
go, how many panels will be installed and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So,
okay,
and it's not an easy situation. Also, I have to deal because they can only direct all the energy to 1 meter, and we have 3 meters. So ideally, I would like to spread that electricity into 3 meters, right?
Mhm.
And right now, it's not possible. So I'm still
okay.
considering.
Okay.
So I think
All right.
nothing.
We'll wait to hear more on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That would just be on one of the gable ends sides, would be on the
Yeah.
one facing Center Street.
So, right now, all the panels are on the south side, if you want. At one point, they offered to put them also on the west side, like 195. Or no, the other side, 195. And I went against that because they admitted that they would not
There's
be
not
very
much,
efficient, and it wouldn't bring anything. It's just a lot of cost for not much, I think, so. I'm far from anything close with them, so,
Okay,
but I am impressed that
They sent me the plans.
they triggered
Yeah.
everything, yeah, but at least, it's good to have a reactive company, right? Rather than dragging people. So anyway, I reassure you, nothing has been decided.
oh, okay,
And of course, if I do, then I will let you know then.
Okay.
Okay.
good. So we'll still need to look at your plans for parking, and things
Yes.
like that coming down. the road.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because as of now, we still do not have a survey of the especially in the front.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, and we have difficulties, right?
Yeah,
Getting all that
that's
information.
gonna be, we're gonna have that within the next 2 weeks.
So we finally find someone who is reasonable as far as, his cost to provide us with that
I
information.
see, okay,
But right now, indeed, we are not sure where the property lines are, where the start of,
that's always interesting.
so we cannot make any plans, unfortunately, but we need to know those
Yeah.
plots. So we'll have them, right?
Yeah. We'll definitely have them by 2 weeks, that's for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
and otherwise inside, all the demolition has been done.
Yeah, demolition is pretty much 100% now.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's a green space. We just
Any,
need to.
any encouraging news on future tenants or?
So, we have someone that has, retained my attention is someone local. And, someone whose family owns a local, retail. And, she's extremely interested. She's looking at an antique gift coffee shop kind of combination, but she's born here and her family is from here. And they are one of, so it would be great if it happens. It's a little too early because I'm not in a position to
Yeah.
show her anything, but
Sure.
she is extremely interested, and again, her credentials are here, so are reliable.
Good.
So that's the
Sounds good.
direction we're going.
Okay, great.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, no. I hope it works with, I hope it works with. You know, at one point I was thinking of opening something completely different with a restaurant specialist from the area. But this came up and I think it's a better option for me and for several reasons, so.
A lot less installation of appliances and
Yeah.
that affects
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And it makes it difficult to
Heavy.
switch to anything else.
Yes, yeah.
So, do you guys have any questions on where it stands now, or Matt, any, on the construction or any?
I used to go down to that store when Ann Robb ran it as Barrows and Burnham. I live at 30 Center Street, just down from you. And I'm very grateful for what you're doing. A lot of memories from Mansfield Center. So it's great to see that structure being rehabilitated and turned back into good use. So thanks for what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think Mark is doing a great job, and it's there's a lot of work because it's a building that was
Yeah.
Neglected
abandoned,
for sure.
basically
It's-
abandoned. So
Seen better days.
Sometimes that's better than having too many people remodel
Yes.
That's a good point.
it. Yeah, I went by today and it looks great.
Great,
They were
yeah,
putting the
that's-
capstones on the retaining
Yep.
wall, and
Looks good.
I don't know what everybody else was doing, but must have been 8 or 10 trucks there.
Yeah. Well, we had the abatement, there was some asbestos on the floor,
Oh,
and the existing windows had asbestos in the glazing.
Oh.
So, yeah, so they took all the windows and they removed the floor for us, so
Wow.
that's all gone.
Good.
who did that?
So Levy Enterprises are the ones that did the removals for me. And Mystic Air are the ones that did the testing for us. So I have all that
Yeah.
brochure that I will be submitting for just for reference that you guys can have, so
Okay.
everybody knows so there is no more asbestos in that building whatsoever.
Okay.
Everything's gone.
That's great.
Great.
And the boards on the second story porch, those are just supportive, temporary.
Yeah, that's just a temporary rail. It's just safety for the guys, because
Okay.
you gotta have something at 42, and that railing doesn't meet code or to work safe.
Uh-huh.
So we just install that just to keep everybody
Okay,
safe.
good. Good, good.
Right.
Well, thank you for coming and updating us.
Yeah, well,
Appreciate it.
no, the only thing, you remember the ADA ramp that we had
Right.
shown?
Yeah,
I think we're not going to do this. We are going to rebuild a porch or a deck, if you want, the one that we removed.
on the side.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because that way that the access will be usable by the tenants and the ADA.
And the-
Yeah, it will serve two purposes.
Mhm.
And as much as we like the original idea, we thought that doing just the deck will.
But that's going up a whole story. Is that, can you do a?
Well,
It would be leaving from the right corner of the building. So where the old deck was and there was steps coming down, that'll actually ramp up from the asphalt. It'll ramp up and then it'll level off at the door. So we can meet, we gotta be within 1 and 20. So it'll bring us like right to the corner of the building where you can ramp it up and we'll be in code and we'll be fine there. So that'll be an accessible walkway for handicap, wheelchairs, whatever. What have you.
I think it would be good to see a little drawing of.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's planned, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll submit that to you and to
Okay.
your approval, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
If I may,
Yeah.
so the applicant and the owner have been great about forwarding me photographs. So would the commission like me to forward on any photographs that come in work in progress
Yeah.
as
They're
it
for
comes
us.
along?
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be you, they're for
Yeah, well,
us.
they're in your packet, but
Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted them in your packet and you wanted me
Yeah,
to
definitely.
forward them as well.
Be great. Yes, I tend to send pictures, like once a week.
Uh-huh.
After I, collect them, I can send them in.
Okay,
So as we go, I'm not gonna send like repetitious pictures of this is happening, but
yeah,
you know.
the things that we're concerned about.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, those you will get.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks.
Okay.
You don't need to stay unless you.
All right.
Thank you.
I go.
Thank you. I feel bad.
Hopefully you have something
Next time.
better to do.
Next one.
Thank
Go
you.
back to work.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Okay, should we go into the properties rather than the town?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about, I'm
9:34.
sorry, I don't know your name.
Alirio Zapata.
Okay,
9.
welcome, welcome.
I just bought this property in August last year,
Uh-huh,
because my child attend college in here.
oh, okay,
And when I bought the property, it's real bad condition. It's like a jungle. You cannot see from the street. And what I do right now is landscaping.
mhm,
Before when I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, I just thinking to doing same thing as my neighbor across the street has it, but my wife changed her mind. And we're gonna keep it 17 feet from a street side to
So
the
this is
south, to the house.
parking?
Yeah,
this is
no,
park-
it's not, right now it's no parking, nobody parking there,
Okay,
okay? I just.
you
what-
own this, you own that whole property?
Yeah.
You own on the driveway
Yeah,
side?
Yeah, I
Are you
have
talking
it
about that? Or are you talking about in front of the
in
house?
the front of the house. I don't wanna do nothing in the back. You see the way they look?
You wanna,
you want me to share?
it's up to you.
Would
Is
you
that
like
helpful?
me to get a map up?
Yeah.
Sure.
In the meantime, it just moves when I move my computer.
Sorry. What is going on here? Okay,
Funny how everyone gets short
I
GIS
know.
so differently.
it's not the way I do it at my desk, but. Matt, I am gonna share this once I get there.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay.
I have this, I don't know if they want to see
Yeah.
the street view.
Okay, great.
Sorry. there a way to get to the street view here?
Yeah, if you can move that, there we go. See the little, if the third icon, yeah. And then you just put it right in front of the house and we'll take you there and then you can make it big. There you
Okay. Matt, can you see that?
Perfectly.
Great. Okay.
So now what are you thinking here?
Okay, on the front of the house, you see the entrance?
Yeah.
That part is gonna be, like bricks, only 6 feet wide.
But it's quite
Yeah,
an
with the
incline.
entrance.
It's not flat. It ain't.
Yeah, it's not flat,
So
it's
how are you gonna do with that?
done. The same way they are right now, I just, doing good landscaping, especially when it's rain. I don't want the water to go back to the house. That I gonna follow the level they has right now into the road. You see where's the mailbox it is?
Yes,
And a catch spacing right there.
go.
That catch spacing, right now, they used to collect a lot of dirt. What I try to do, I'm coming with the entrance of the house with the pavers. And then 17 feet from the curb inside is gonna be grass. And then near to the house gonna be like a walkway going to the driveway.
The driveway over on the other side?
Yeah, other on the other side, because I had an attached garage,
Right.
2 doors garage. I planning to pave in the springtime. I think it's around like 30 feet from my neighbor line to inside.
Okay, so there's not gonna be parking in front of the house?
No parking in front of the house.
There's gonna be.
Meaning
a
in front of the house, 17 feet inside is gonna be 4 feet high, speakers fence, PVC fence,
We need to
just-
see that, yeah.
just to give it a better look at the house.
PVC fences are not,
No,
Oh.
what, wood fence, they're gonna be rotted real soon. Other way, I prefer to keep it with no fence. Because I just thinking to put in a walkway, go into the garage, because that land, when it's wet, forget it. Nobody can walk. You pass there, nobody can walk.
It's very,
Yeah.
it's very rutted currently, very, yeah.
And the landscaping guy told me it's better to keep it like grass. Grass keep more solid when you work. They don't go like deep like the way it is right now. And then in the house, I need to exchange the gutters, but I want to follow the same gutters they have right now. I don't want to change. They has a round gutters, but because it's a middle, they has holes. It's too old. You know, the house building in 1750, 1850, no, 1750, I believe. Yeah,
I don't know.
and I want to use the same gutters to get the same look. And roof and siding, that's another thing I want to do. I want to put in asphalt, architect shingles, and siding look the same. This is, I think, is a clapboard, but they don't look good. I want the house look fresh.
so you're gonna do wood siding?
No wood siding, vinyl siding.
Yeah.
Look at the same as this one.
No.
No,
It does
now
not.
what's wrong with this, with the siding now? I mean, it
man,
can't be,
some parts is not good.
it can't be painted?
They're gonna look so bad. It is not in the front. In the front, it's not look so bad, but in the sizes, they has a rotted wood. And this side and the other side, they has a rotted wood. And I know this clapboard, when we send it, they're gonna look ugly. This
Well,
side,
You understand that this is a historic district?
yes, I don't gonna change nothing. They're gonna look the same.
Vinyl does not look the same. We would not be able to approve vinyl siding.
No,
No.
I have just question, how my neighbor across the street has a vinyl siding, if he has a historic district? And you remember we talked about this? He parking in the front of the house.
Well, he has a flat a flat,
But what I see it, they take a state property to put in pavers and parking because he has maybe like 11 feet only from curb to inside the house. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep it grass. I don't want to use parking in the front of the house. You see how they have it?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that, from beginning, I just thought I can do the same he doing it, but I'm not. It's too much money. I don't want to put it that much money
well,
down.
he has a flat piece,
Yeah.
you've got it like this, so it's hard.
Mean, it's easy to make flat. It's only machines and move the dirt, but I don't want to do that. I just agree with my wife. We want to keep a grass in the front of the house and 7 feet, after 17 feet from curb inside, I'm gonna make a walkway going into that driveway.
Mhm.
That's it. Nothing else. If I cannot do the siding, forget it, I'll keep it like that. I don't want to have too much stress in this.
Mhm.
Roof is still in good condition. It's a three tops shingle, but I want to put an architect shingle. Charcoal.
Okay, you had mentioned to me metal, so you've changed from
I
metal.
change it already. I don't want to put that amount of money in the house, no.
Okay,
I want to keep it asphalt shingles.
okay.
But the roof needs replacement now?
Honest to you, I don't have no leak. It's because I want to look fresh. The roof is, I am a contractor,
Okay,
35 years contractor. That roof I can say is 20 years old. I don't want to wait to start leaking.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to, because it's only one layer, I want to put another layer architect shingle on top of that one.
okay.
Okay,
On top of the old one?
yeah, it's only one layer. By law, I
You can
got
do one
3.
layer over.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Have you changed anything in the front?
Nothing,
It was
absolutely,
this- It
nothing.
was like this when you got.
Yeah, nothing. And I don't want to change nothing.
Mhm.
What I see that the porch has a nice, columns and design. I don't want to change that.
Okay, good.
Nothing, like I said, when I say siding, vinyl siding is because it's the only one match the one they have it. Because I can put in bricks, fake brick siding, they look so nice, but they change. They're gonna change the look of the house.
Yeah, we wouldn't be.
Yeah, no, that's okay, forget it. Probably I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna paint it and leave it the way it is. But the roof, yes, I wanna put it a fresh architect shingle,
Okay.
okay?
What is the setback from
From the road?
the?
So this is in zoning, we would consider this not conforming, legally non-conforming. So it existed prior to zoning. You can't build the structure any closer in the front at all. You could potentially go out on the sides and the rear, but nothing comes closer to the
Can you
front
do the
setback.
pathway to the?
If
you're
it's
talking about?
flush, if it's flush to the
Okay.
ground pursuant to zoning, it's not a structure.
Okay.
So that would not be under my jurisdiction.
So you're planning to add a garage to the right of the porch there, correct?
No, the garage is
There's
there.
one back there.
The garage is in good
It's
condition.
already there.
Oh, okay.
You're
Yeah.
gonna keep.
I thought you
The
said
only
that.
thing I do in the garage, because when I bought the house, they has a concrete foundation, it's real crack, and I cannot put in cars there. Right now, what I doing, I chip the existing concrete to put in another maybe 4 inches concrete on top of that one. You know what I
On the
mean?
inside of the.
Inside the garage, inside the
You're gonna
garage.
put in some mesh or a rebar or something to keep it from recracking?
Yeah, they don't have core bar. They put in like, I believe it's like 6 inches concrete, but because the land is too wet and it looked like before they put in something real heavy, they crack. And it's big, big pieces crack it. I cannot put in no car there. Okay, and then in the front of the garage, 30 feet wide, it's gonna be driveway.
Here, correct?
Yeah,
Right here?
yeah.
Okay.
From this point, you see the tree?
Yeah.
a straight line through here. And then the rest is gonna be grass and landscaping, bushes or whatever.
And the material you're using for the driveway will be,
Asphalt.
There's just a gravel driveway to the garage now? Is that what's there now?
Yes, a little, you see, I put in milling a couple, like months ago. Because the driveway is real bad, but forget it. The water throw all the mud there and it's no way we can walk in the driveway right now,
Okay,
okay? I just want to see the house look more fresh. At the left side of the house is still a lot of unfinished landscaping. And my neighbor, the house next to me, I think it's a house renting for students, but we already have an issue. One of those students jumped my fence and tried to go inside the house.
Oh,
My daughter's dog bite the guy. No harm, but they buy it. My daughter said, don't come back in here. We have a fence maybe 4 feet. They jump it. And they wants to go inside because they get drunk, you know? And I think there's nothing we can do. The only thing, I want to clean the landscaping and put in a 6 feet high fence.
okay, we'll have to.
And
look.
the side, it's nothing in the front.
I know, but it's visible from the road, so we'd have to.
we have to approve it, but
Mean, again, right now is metal, is like wire fence, like 4 feet high, but they don't hold those teenagers to jump in. And I don't want that dog get one of those guys and having real big trouble. I don't want to have that kind of trouble, especially because in the house, I have my daughters,
yeah.
okay?
So the fence would come to the front
And-
edge of the house? Is that where it would come?
At the edge of the house.
Here or on this other side?
On the
No,
left,
on that side.
Okay.
This neighbor, I don't have no issue with that neighbor. It's that house because I think it's a house usage, it's only students there. It's a red house down.
So you'd have a few feet of fence going to the left and then it would go back towards the rear of the lot?
Yeah, nothing in the front.
Yeah.
I can stop from the edge of the house, right here, all the way back and right here.
Okay.
Like, I can say maybe in the front, like 4 feet high, but on the side, it has to be like 6 feet. Because I cannot stop those guys. Like, it's only fence.
Just as a point of discussion, since you're bringing that up, I mean, we don't have or anything yet to approve it, but it seems to me that we could approve possibly a wood fence for the part that's parallel with the road, and then you could do the vinyl fence back from there, because you really wouldn't see that with all those trees and all.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can put it,
Does that seem
but
logical?
Yeah, if it's not visible.
the wood
from
fence is
the-
gonna be visible because
Right,
it's
yeah,
right in the
that
front.
part we will.
But the vinyl all the way back. I don't know, I say vinyl right now, but remember
You can
vinyl
do
is too
something else.
expensive right now. I don't know if I can afford a vinyl while putting wood. The only thing wood, 5 years, I have to change again. Because they get rather easy.
Especially there, because you've got so much foliage. You're between the
Cameras.
house and the foliage, and it's not gonna get sun.
I
So
know, yeah.
that would
But
be a
you're gonna
problem.
take some of that out.
Yeah,
That would be a problem for a wood.
no, but
fence.
still, I don't take the high trees.
Right. What is
Because
wrong with that?
the line of the property with my neighbor, we have a real high trees. Those trees is the line. They go all the way back
Oh, okay.
and line.
Uh-huh.
I don't gonna touch those. I gonna clear just the small, roots and
Yeah. Is the telephone pole leaning or is that?
Oh,
just the way
that
we're-
could be just a
It's the,
distortion.
protection.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit.
Whoops.
up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't,
when I get ready, I gonna come to building department to pull the permit for the roof.
For the roof, yeah.
And landscaping, what I want to do, I don't think I has to pull a no permit, because like I say, from the street inside 17 feet is gonna be green, grass. And the walkway, I have to make walkway to go into the garage.
Mhm.
That's
Okay.
it. It's nothing major. No, it's
Alright.
not.
So do you have information on the history of that district that we could,
No.
maybe we could send you some?
Okay, and the other thing, because it's too dark in the nighttime,
Uh-huh.
I just think to put in 3 lights, it's 3 lights. One from the entrance of the driveway, one on the middle of the house, and another one in the other corner.
Now, are you talking about
Post lights.
floodlight, oh, post light?
Yeah, post light.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put in near to the road. I want to put in 17 feet inside.
Mhm.
But it's those regular street lights. It's too dark in the nighttime. It's too dangerous to anybody try to get out from the house, because it's not, I don't have no vision in this side, and I don't want it touching my neighbor property. They have some bushes right there. When you go inside the driveway and you want to get out, you cannot see it in this side of the road. And you know how people drive in there?
Yeah,
50 to 60 miles per hour, you don't believe. How crazy that is this road in here,
yeah.
especially in the nighttime.
So would we have some ideas about?
Well,
Yeah.
my first question would be, it would be less expensive for you to put floodlights or spotlights on the corners of the building rather than putting post lights out there. So that's just one thought.
Okay, listen, right now I put in a light in the front of the garage. Photo light, in the nighttime they tune it, but still it's not enough to bright all this property.
But it's pretty far back,
Yeah,
the garage.
yeah.
so-
oh yeah, that's real part, yeah.
But it seems to me you'd get more light if you put a floodlight, say, behind the chimney on the right-hand side of the building that could be directed towards the garage that would light all that area in between. The post lights tend not to throw a lot of light.
No, because I planning to put in 17 feet inside. They're gonna help the road too, because it's too dark in the nighttime. If you never driving right there in the nighttime, it's real, especially because it's a curve. It's not a straight, it's a curve. Right here is a curve.
Right.
So the street light, the lights will go along this proposed walkway, is that,
Yes.
okay. I wasn't,
So we
I,
would want to see what specifics on what you were gonna use.
Okay.
Would you guys look at the roof as well?
No, the roof, it's asphalt already, so
Yeah.
we're not concerned about that.
So it's the lights, the fence and siding if that were to move forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
may I, Madam Chair? I have one other thing. So I did visit with the owner at the site.
Mhm.
And there currently is a mini split that comes off the front of the house,
Yeah, the mini split, I'm already,
right here. So he
Who's gonna ask
is,
about that?
no, the mini split is right now it's attached into the house. But I'm gonna build in a concrete base to put in there, not attaching to the house.
Okay, now is that
That's a
vertical
complete-
line there, is that a cover for the supply for the?
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah,
So
I have a
vertical
cover,
line
and I
is-
have it covered, white cover.
That in there, can blow that up.
this here.
Oh,
It's probably, is that
No,
like,
you don't see in this picture, I don't think it's in the picture,
No.
no.
yeah,
No,
not yet.
you don't have it.
Because,
no, but you can see where
This
that's
here?
why there's that vertical line is where the tubing goes into the house, right?
Yeah,
that
the
what that is?
unit is not shown here, but it
No,
looks like.
Not in that picture.
But it's already been installed?
It has.
And you got a permit from building for that?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Did you install that or was that installed when you came?
No, that one I installed by myself. The other ones, because there's another ones around the house, is the heating. Those, they doing heating and cooling. You know why? Because that, I don't like to burn in oil. Oil is so bad my boiler is good. They were good. First, in 1 month, that house spent $2,000. That's too much money to heat in the house because the house has no insulation in between the walls. It's not insulation. I just applying right now for the government. They're gonna put in probably they starting in April to put an insulation in those kind of house. You know that program. You never heard that program?
Eversource.
Yeah, Eversource.
Eversource has that program.
But they are closed right now. They say they start in April again because the exterior walls in the house is not insulation.
So they're gonna blow insulation into the
Yeah.
cavities?
Yeah. And right now, my expense is less because we heating the house with a mini split. It's cost me like around less than $500 compared to $2,000 to burning oil. And you see the other thing, when they work, all the smoke tuning this way. If you are outside, you smoke that thing.
So you're putting
And I don't like it.
concrete thing in front?
Yeah, right here, I'm gonna put a base concrete.
So
right
there'd be
here.
a slab.
Yeah, slab to
the
set
unit up.
the unit. And the line is gonna be covered.
So you're gonna take out that line that's between the windows and put a line next to the corner board?
No, this is no line.
What
for
is
the-
it?
No, that is, I don't know what is this, I don't remember, but it's no line. The line is coming from here, and
the
the,
corner.
and the unit is right here,
in front of that
Okay.
window.
okay, attaching into the house. Because she called my attention, I say, yes, don't worry, I gonna untouch the house, building a concrete slab right here and sit there.
Okay,
That's the way it's supposed to be.
so you don't know what that is between the windows?
No, I don't remember right,
Could that be a leftover bracket from the shutters?
probably, yeah,
That-
probably.
Could that be what that is?
Yeah, and the other thing is the windows. The previous owner changed the windows at the side of the house, vinyl windows. Try to match in this, but they don't do the front of the house because they know the house a history and they has to come in here to get an approved to change those windows. Because those windows right now, they are cracked. I have 2 in here and 2 on the other side is cracked. I just want to change the windows at the same as in the other side of the house. It's 6 total. I had this 4 plus 2 on this side. They don't change it.
But they did these.
No, they don't,
They didn't
no,
do
no,
any of
no,
those.
these 2, they don't change it.
Okay, so 1, 2,
3, total is 8
yeah,
windows. They don't change it. But if you look the other side of the house, it's a vinyl windows.
Yeah, and we prefer not to have vinyl windows in the front. There are a lot of other options that we would approve, but the vinyl windows,
What's on the porch?
the old windows,
The old
the old windows are on the whole.
1,
Okay.
1, 2,
Only the
3.
sides were changed
Yeah.
by the previous owner.
You've actually got 9 if you've got 2 over there.
Perhaps the previous owner didn't even get a permit at all,
I'm sure not.
and they avoided because that would have been a heads up. That seemed to be what you were saying.
Because right now, those windows, oh, they let him pass real cold when it's windy. Forget it.
So,
Now, there is another option, a cheaper option, if you didn't want to replace the windows, and if those are good enough that you could paint them,
Okay,
you can get interior storms, which are they're actually more effective than the new windows. In other words, if you put the interior storms in, it'll actually, because a company called Interglass that puts them in, and it will be more efficient than putting in new windows at probably a third the cost. So it's something to consider.
those stone windows, they don't hold the wind when
They do.
I did already one of the house, I'm working for my client. And when it's real windy, you feel the cold coming in. And in other words, ever since in my other house, I have two windows like that, and they say, those don't work. Because, they have a tester, they come and say, from those two windows, there's a lot of wind coming. They don't, no, it's not insulator. If it's insulator, stone windows, it's okay, but you don't find those double glass.
No,
Yeah, it's a
No.
regular.
but well, it depends what company you use. Some of them aren't good, that's true.
Well,
But there
anyway.
are windows, if you wanted to replace them, there are windows that we would approve,
Because we will not approve.
but not vinyl.
I don't know, probably because I don't want to have too much heater in the house. Probably in the springtime, I'm gonna take it, bring it to the glass place, fix it, and put it back. And that's it. And for me, it's the easy way.
Okay,
That's okay with us.
yeah, we don't mind that.
So basically restore what's there.
You put new glass in.
Yeah, new glass, forget it.
Mhm.
I think it's better.
But I
Because
think,
no, Anderson windows, they are so expensive. Right now, each window like that is around $750.
Yeah.
And it's almost 10 windows. I don't want, no, no.
so I think we'd also like to see what you plan to do with this mini split. What it's gonna look like. Are you going to camouflage it with some plantings?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
If you could
yes.
show us that,
Yes.
that would be.
I gonna put a planting from that corner to this side. This I take this out. I'm gonna put it tines, small tines,
Mhm.
3 tines from here, like 3 in here, and in here.
Make it
In the
big.
mini
You
split,
know how
nobody
big
can
it
see, nobody can see the mini split.
And
Well,
then,
Is that because of the traffic, the road, you're trying to block off the sound and the street, the light
Yeah.
from the headlights and all that?
and then you are proposing a fence here as well, which could also, right? Aren't you proposing a picket fence in this area?
That's what, that, my wife give me that option, just to look the house, more, like updated. But if this is going in a big process, forget it, the fence. I just want to put a fence on the side because I don't want those teenagers continue jumping,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so if you put in a mini split there and you run the
the line.
line up the corner board, it won't show very much, so I think that would be fine with us.
Okay.
I still
okay.
wonder what that
Well,
line is. It's not in this picture, is it?
I think I have a
There.
picture,
Oh, it is,
fresh
okay.
picture. Let me see if I find it, you guys can see it.
Wonder if the picture's been spliced.
Okay. I got the picture of the mini split and the line coming this way, and I have to put the cord. You guys can see.
I'm gonna show Matt. Hold it up to the camera.
So it's mounted to the wall right now.
I don't know that we can.
Right,
We can
so-
email it to him later.
So you're gonna put this down on the slab.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, just
Okay.
kick it off the wall.
Thank
So
you.
what you could do if you put it down is go horizontal on the bottom board of the siding there, and then go up the corner. What this picture showed, they just went,
Yeah.
wherever. They
Yeah.
weren't careful with that, but you could do an actual right angle and make it,
Uh-huh,
and oftentimes they cover the corner. Usually it's
I had the covers.
with gutter.
Yeah, no gutters. I have the specific cover they
Okay.
selling to cover those lines.
Okay,
Okay, those lines, they don't gonna show it when I cover.
Do you all need to see because you're doing gutters too?
Yeah.
Do you need to see the gutters?
Yeah, but the gutters is gonna be the same as,
same
as the round
It'll
gutters.
be the same, we're okay with.
those are the old fashioned,
Yeah, uh-huh.
yeah,
The thing, I don't know why they, before they selling copper, but copper always is too expensive,
Yeah.
okay? And then put in metal. Now it's rusting all around the house. I gonna put it probably copper.
Oh, so that is not the same.
Yeah, it's the same, it's round,
Oh,
it's round,
oh,
it's
okay.
just a look.
now you can get the round in painted white aluminum too.
I wanna see the cheapest way.
Yeah,
I
that
know
would be
copper
cheaper.
is
That
too
would be
expensive,
cheap.
Yeah,
yeah. But that has to look the same round gutters.
yeah, and you can't get that in white aluminum.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I want to apply the permit for the roof, because when I take the gutters, I have to put the roof first and then the gutters.
Okay.
I don't want to do the gutters first and then the roof.
Right. Okay, you've got a lot going on there.
Oh, forget it. I get crazy. You know why? I live in Derby, Connecticut.
Oh, it's gonna commute too.
I'm coming so far. I have to come in at least 3 times a week to check my daughters.
Okay.
My wife worked for the state and she always never has time to say.
Okay,
So are you
we'll-
gonna come back
we'll
to
see.
us with
Specific
I mean,
materials.
You're gonna
Yeah.
put together,
a package for us to approve?
Yes,
okay,
I want to make a plan, a little joint plan. You guys can see it and we go from there.
Okay,
Right,
okay.
Okay.
sounds good.
Mhm.
Do you have any like resources to give him to do research on or anything so as he's doing his plan?
Begin.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna just replace the glass in the windows, you don't need examples of reproductions. of the
We-
windows.
They're gonna look the same as this. The only thing is, are gonna change the windows is broken right now.
now
Okay.
Mansfield Supply, which is on 195 on the other side of the university, would do that.
Okay,
Yeah, just
That's,
about-
they're close.
okay.
But for the lights, do
We'd
you,
have to
is
We
there
would need to
guidance?
see the lights. for
Can you give
sure.
him guidance as to what he,
Well, we just gave him some guidance that he didn't seem to like, so,
but I mean, like,
Historical or, right, we'd probably be looking for something that's more as opposed to modern.
Yeah, I
yeah,
suppose.
but the idea of having these high lights out front of the
Yeah,
house
so
is
we don't
not
know
very
what
compatible
All are
to.
they, all those things we need to know.
so you'll need like a diagram and
Samples out of a brochure or something that we can look at.
As LED lights, they look the same lights as in the street. They look the same as that one.
Yeah,
It's
just
gonna have like
stylistically,
that.
what's the post look like? What does the encasement for the,
Mean,
bulbs look like
listen, you can adjust it. If you put it this way, they don't give a lot of light at the front of the road. If I put it this way, they give you a lot of light at the road. But if I put it that way, they light down.
yeah, we just need to see what style.
The post,
Yeah.
the post and the light.
Oh, it's gonna be a round post.
Yes, we need to see that, what it visually is
So,
gonna look like. So if you
If
have.
you
it on
decide
the
a
brochure
manufacturer, you can give us the drawings and specifications that
From the-
the manufacturer supplies.
is
So we
there a
can see what it
manufacturer
is.
that you usually use?
I just bought those lights in Amazon.
Okay,
If you go on Amazon, they.
So you have the lights on.
Showing a lot of lights.
you want to just send me, just, you think it's good to get a little feedback here or?
Well, I mean, if you.
You already
think about-
bought the lights?
Yes, it's not installed.
I know.
I had the light.
Let me, if you want to just pull them up, yeah.
But you could return them because they came from Amazon?
Yes.
Okay, that's good, maybe.
No, that's
Hold
okay.
on.
If I cannot put them in here, I have another property to use. It's not,
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
they are so good. When you put in, just lights, they showing you a lot different kind of lights.
I know,
Post
but,
lights, yes.
but post light?
Yeah,
Well, think about this house in the context of the historic village that it was once part of before electric lights. So the idea of installing posted light fixtures in front of the house is not perhaps in keeping with the character that we are trying to preserve. That's why we were suggesting alternatives.
There weren't many residential post lights except in mansions until the 20th
Those were
century. right?
later anyway, yeah. I mean, very late 19th century if they were not this period.
I mean, even gas lights, I mean, they.
you're
just
gonna
wasn't
see
done
it,
in-
you're gonna see it.
This isn't
Yes,
Amazon,
good.
this is Lamps.
Yes, yeah, you're gonna see it when I,
Okay, I think we should, you know,
I mean, for
go
lights,
forward.
if I cannot put them, I just put in a motion lights attaching to the house.
I think that's the
I have-
best solution.
We would
I
prefer
have to
that.
have it sunlight.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that idea would be less,
Way less expensive.
yeah.
So currently, you're gonna come back to this commission with regards to any fencing that is visible from the road,
Yeah,
a plan for the temporary AC unit in front of the house and its base, parking, and the lights, whatever you decide. So
Okay.
those are the items that I have listed that you will have to come back and formally apply to this commission for a certificate. of
okay, when I come back, I wanna bring a small joints, you guys can see it,
Great.
Yeah,
and we go from there,
you know, for your ease, if you have actual photographs
yeah.
of where you're purchasing these from, that you can just take a snapshot of that, screen save it or whatever, but we can see the actual product that you're thinking of installing.
I have it in here, I just forgot to bring it.
Okay, that's fine, that's great,
Okay,
all right.
Okay,
thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
thank you,
Goodbye.
okay, have a good night,
You
everybody,
too.
Okay.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. All right, and thank you for coming. This is Bharat,
Yeah, but,
and I can't pronounce your last name, but
new pin.
New Pain,
Yeah.
who now owns the Spring Hill Inn.
Yep, it's in the sign, coming, opening soon.
Bought 2 years ago, which we did not know about, I think. And he wants to open a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I met him out in the parking lot and he was willing to have us suggest some ideas for a sign.
Yeah.
As you know, we approved that original sign
Yeah.
and whether or not we can do something on the bottom of that, add to that or whatever.
Which,
Do you want to tell us something about what kind of restaurant or what you would want on the sign?
I want to do the just American restaurant, just steak, burger, chicken Chinese, some seafood.
is it gonna have a name
I gonna put same name, Spring Hill Inn and restaurant and bar.
and restaurant,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
restaurant and bar?
Yeah.
Okay. Then just probably
Right.
restaurant and bar underneath, simple.
yeah, I have a
Just say-
previous sign, that alternate sign, says just the. I think you
Yeah,
that
I
sign.
I took a picture of that, but I'm
And
not
that
sure
same
how we,
size,
how
so
we,
I'm thinking that I can put there,
I'm not
under-
sure
under
how
that
it's going
sign.
to,
But it says Altnove.
doesn't say alternate
Oh,
on
it
that
doesn't?
sign, no.
Oh, okay.
Just
It's
the
gone.
street,
Here.
something, yeah. That way I don't have to change anything, that
but
wall I
see,
don't have to
that
move.
was before this, so.
So he has that piece of,
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
that
it has
piece,
that in the
just I want to put on that Spring Hill Inn sign.
okay, and that's.
So
fits
what,
on-
what would you cut off the,
No need to got anything, just match that post.
just put that on one of the posts?
that-
How wide is this?
Well,
Same size,
Yeah, it's,
that same size.
yeah, so it's what was up there, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, they
before.
moved from
These are the
there.
metal, or these have been the metal things that attached it to the.
Oh, I
posts.
see.
Yeah.
That was already, this is from this
There.
current sign,
Yeah,
not from when it was the alternate.
Yeah, they tried to
I don't
open
know
restaurant
when this
2019.
I don't think we approved this, it was somehow already there.
Yeah,
okay, so this is just get attached basically under where it says
yeah,
opening soon.
yeah.
What do you
And then
think?
you just change the types to say restaurant and bar, or you're
Yeah,
gonna put
yeah.
bar on top, or soon what we do with that.
Spring Hill Inn's already there, so just I want to add that sign in the bottom.
Are you going to have lodging or not?
Yeah, lodging too.
Okay,
Lodging is still running, so it means.
yep. So then where would the word bar go? Would you just
Bar,
say,
oh,
You don't need bar?
there is other sign, there is a street too, says, maybe you do only one picture.
so there'd be two signs going up?
Yeah,
But they were the same,
No,
no?
no. But I didn't take a picture. Oh, yeah. this
Oh,
one.
and spirits. Oh,
Food
yeah,
and
that's
spirit.
right, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
So no need to put.
So
bar.
that is from when it was the alternate, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what it said.
Yeah,
Wine, food,
right.
and Spirits, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so those go basically, put up like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Oh,
was
sorry,
wondering
yeah,
why
I can't
the
show you.
design was, look a little awkward.
Yeah.
It's just one, the way it was,
So that goes both side.
yeah,
Same.
yeah. Okay,
So these curlicues would go And
No, they're on
then-
top.
It's a two-sided
pieces.
sign, so on one side it says one thing and on the other side it says the other, correct?
No, they go like this, Dave.
both sides same.
Oh,
They butt
okay,
I have a
together.
double, so-
So there's two flat things come together in the center. So
okay.
you have the decorative things on top and the decorative thing on the bottom. So
But how does that work with this, if we leave that sign?
No, because it
It'll
goes.
be right underneath it, I guess.
Yeah.
So this
It-
comes down,
it
right?
Fits in here.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
If it's in
Okay,
that
if
little,
it's in with the curly cues,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
yeah, for now, that's it, and near future, there is a barn, very old,
Mhm.
so I wanna make like a maybe 3-4 room, guest room.
That's what the previous owner was discussing too.
Yeah.
I don't know how far Lambert got on it, but
I
He
don't go
didn't
too
get very
far.
far at
he
all.
didn't.
So I wanna do that, when I open restaurant, then next project is that.
So you understand that any alterations that are visible from the,
Yeah,
Road
but
needs
I need
to-
to approve from the, you guys, I know that, but
uh-huh,
some, the architect is working.
oh, okay,
So I told him, slow down now, I don't have budget when I open restaurant and.
yeah,
Yep,
okay.
So what you should probably do with that, if you could take those and just temporarily put them where they go and take a picture, then we can approve that.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
But we need something to
Sure,
approve.
sure.
That would
We
be
need
good.
something to record what we've approved.
Sure, I can do that.
Mhm.
Maybe tomorrow I'm little busy. I can do within Monday.
Okay,
That's great.
okay, good.
So do I need to come here again or I
I
can send
don't
email?
Think you, if you could email it,
Okay,
yeah, and we can take a look at it.
and
Um,
you will have to have a public, you'll have to issue a certificate of appropriateness.
Right,
If it existed prior.
yeah,
that-
will we, if we,
I could check to see if we
Grandfathered
have a
in.
certificate from the last time.
yeah, let's see.
Grandfathered in,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
It's from the time before last, I think.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, right.
Is that something you actually have to check with the attorney? Is that, or is there some other way you can check? I
can
mean,
check
as to
our-
whether that passes the. You said you have to check to see whether we can approve it because it
Oh,
was there at one.
No,
time.
I'm gonna check to see if you have already given that sign
Uh-huh.
a certificate of appropriateness. As it would be reestablished,
Okay,
and I will just report back.
yeah, that's before my time. When they all were vacant.
Yeah,
so.
I don't recall, I
That would be way-
recall this sign, but that would have been an existing sign.
Foundation, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
That's it.
Alrighty.
Good.
how long is that temporary sign gonna stay up?
Maybe 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm getting approved the liquor permit, then I'm planning to open March 15, 16.
oh, you are,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, all right.
So you've already redone the kitchen,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
needs to be
yeah,
done?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they approve already.
Nice.
Town and the rest, they approve.
So do you have a
Waiting
third
for-
party coming in to run the restaurant, or are you gonna run
No,
the restaurant?
I'm gonna do.
You're
that.
gonna do it, okay.
Okay.
I don't have job, so I need to do something.
Oh,
Yeah,
he owned the Kathmandu.
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
Yeah,
on-
Yeah.
I sold.
Great.
I don't know, he's selling now, I might buy again, but I'm not sure.
What did you say?
That, I sold him, he wanna
He
go
wants-
back Nepal, so
Oh,
he want to
I see.
sell some.
Okay, all right.
Oh, now he wants to
Okay.
stop.
Yeah, he want to sell, he need to go
Okay.
back.
Oh, my,
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe I buy just a small share, you know,
And go
and
back.
somebody will run.
Oh, maybe.
Mhm.
Right.
That's it.
Great.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
so-
So
Thank
you're
you.
gonna take a photo and.
Yeah, I
send
think
it.
I have your email, you gave me card last time, right?
No.
Oh, I have, you send me email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll
Okay.
forward
Mhm,
that picture, just the picture, right?
mhm.
Yep,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
coming.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, yeah.
You want me to-
I can drive it.
Oh, that would be great.
I left you on a right.
My left hand just is getting to me with the mouse.
Oh, okay. All right, now we can go back Whew, to,
It's like long distance driving, you need somebody to spell you
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
yeah.
okay, you wanna start with adoption of
Oh, good.
HGC bylaws.
We
Is it
have
possible
one
to
more
go to
thing.
To the town.
Oh, yeah,
kiosk?
sure, sure,
So I
sorry.
don't think you've met Michael Stankoff. He's our
Oh,
environmental
no.
planner and.
Okay,
Hi.
I
Mike,
don't believe so. Pleasure to meet all of you.
It's nice to
Hi.
meet you as well. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I cut you off, Jen. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, Michael, has my former position, so he's doing the
Okay,
trails, the parks and wetlands.
okay.
Okay.
So, but he's in our office, so.
okay.
So today I'm here to talk to you about a project that is going to cross town, which is our kind of our master signage plan. And there is one sign in particular that is in the Mansfield Center Historic District. Now, as part of one of the many initiatives for wayfinding, helping people get around both downtown and our roads, we're doing a big signage package all around town. And we are collaborating with the Connecticut Forest and Parks Association to create some trails maps that orient people from Mansfield Center towards Mansfield Middle School, past the library, and hook them into some of the larger regional trails, the Nipmuc Trail, which runs through the Mansfield Hollow State Park in particular.
It's the elementary school, yeah.
That one, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, the middle school would be a totally different direction, yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
So just hooking in where we're talking about here, sharing. So we are in the process of creating signage that is going to show people both who are coming up the trail from the elementary school, and we zoomed in too far. We're coming up the elementary school along the pathway that runs here. Let's get some base map on and turn off the, perfect. So as you come up the Nipmuc Trail, which runs through the woods here, and up here, right now, we have a trail crossing that leads you to some trails on this side of the road, but that's very dangerous. The speed at which people whip around this corner is not safe. So we are doing some changes to this. We are intending to direct people down the road to the front of what is the elementary school, put in a new crosswalk, and send them across the street. We need to convey this information, and so we are proposing to put in two signs, one just up from the crossing location, and one down at the bus stop at the corner of 89 and 195, in order for people to be able to hook into this trail network, people who are coming in via public transit. If we zoom in via our aerials, I've lost this. Zoom in via our aerials. This is the area that we are talking about. We have the parking area with the bus stop on the west side of the road, as well as the Joshua's Trust property just up from the general store on the east side. Now, we are still determining precisely where this sign goes, and that's one of the reasons we're here for you to speak with you today for pre-application, is whether or not it would be wiser to have the sign on the left side of the road in the parking lot, or on the right side of the road on the grassy area here that the trust maintains. This front area is ours. We have to stay within rights of way, of course, and that has to be worked out with the state. But we are interested in your opinion on whether or not we want to go on one side of the road versus the other. The general sign style, no, hold on, it's the other one. Here we go. So we're just going to zoom in a little bit. I've been working to get a more accurate image of what the face of the sign is going to be. We have not yet employed our graphic designer. But this is the overall shape of the sign. It's not going to say downtown stores up here. We're instead going to go with the brown, green, blue color palette, as opposed to that kind of palish bright red. So it's a two posts. The top of the posts are a little less than 7.5 feet tall. The information that's on the sign is probably going to be a picture-in-picture of those two images I showed you before, both the crossing and the general regional, to guide people toward that crossing and help them navigate the cultural resources in that area.
If you've been to
So-
Bicentennial Pond, the Universal Access Trail, I don't know if you've been there, but it basically has, when we installed a Universal Access Trail around the pond, so it has sort of a map of the pond and then a map of all the trails around there. So basically, this, when this grant when CFPA, the Connecticut Park Association, got this grant, it's the only location where with public transport that you can walk to Mansfield Hollow State Park. So that's why we wanted to kind of highlight that at a bus stop.
This is what we're looking like for our header, not that red, but noting that we're in Mansfield Center, historic district with this blue and green. I think this leaf is supposed to be green, but it just got lost in the graphical fidelity.
And it's about 4 feet wide? How wide?
Yes, I believe about 4 feet wide. I don't have the widths on these, but I will get those for you. and
It's
send them to
7.5
you.
high.
That's
I'm
about
just
right.
Looks
guessing.
about
Yeah.
correct. So the things that I wanted to ask you about today, I will come for a certificate of appropriateness once I have my full sign design. I'm working with our sign designer and going to engage a graphic designer. But I wanted to ask about your thoughts on the shape of the sign, on materials, on location, and on color. We want to make sure that this is consistent with the, for lack of a better word, vibe of the buildings in the historic district. We know that there are strict guidelines for the way that we are supposed to make everything look to be part of a cohesive whole. We want to make sure that this sign both accomplishes our goal of looking like other signs in Mansfield and doesn't become off as garish or intrusive in the zone.
So,
Yeah, I have always had a real problem with sign clutter
Mhm.
in Mansfield Historic Center in particular. There are so many signs that it really drives me crazy, but I'm not sure there's anything we can do about that. My preference would be to have it on the parking lot side, not
Definitely.
interfering
Yeah.
with and I don't think Joshua's Trust needs to have another sign either. Isn't there that electrical unit there, you know, a big green box?
Yeah, as you turn the corner now. This is an
I think
old.
that's,
This
Yeah,
is
that's the
before they did
signal,
the
I think there's a
That's the
signal
island
control
stuff.
box.
Let me
Yeah.
see if I can pull the
Yeah, this is
2023
out of date.
aerials.
That still has that little island.
If you go to the Street View sometimes.
Oh, I can, oh, yes, maybe. Hold on. Let me
It's
just,
up to date.
just see if I can. Oh, all right, well, I don't remember what my password is then. Is this Street View? Oh. So we have, this is 2024. So we are standing on the crosswalk here. At the corner.
yeah, right in there, it's hidden with the vegetation.
Yes, ideally, the vegetation would not be so omnipresent when we install these down by. And now it's changed seasons. Now we're back.
I mean, I think one of the things though is we want to make sure that people see it when they get off the bus. I mean, that's sort of one of so.
is
some
putting
have
it,
integrated into the bus stop, but also people who also park there too.
so would putting it beside the actual,
Bus stop.
the
Protective
kiosk there,
kiosk.
wouldn't that be the best place then?
Yeah,
We put it here. We just gotta make sure that we've
It
got
Just,
proper separation from the,
well, probably closer
To
Yeah.
the kiosk
yeah,
itself.
in
like
there,
almost right next to
put
the
it
bus.
flat
I'm
here.
here for
I don't
the
know.
left or right side of that.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that bus stop, we'd love to get DOT to kind of make that a little spruced up, we can just kind of make it, it looks, that whole area is maintained by DOT, is my
It's
understanding.
the word you would use?
Unmaintained.
Exactly.
it is DOT's responsibility to maintain.
Yeah, and I think so, but,
That's nice because it's back from the road as well,
Yeah.
flat against that
Okay.
hedgerow, makes it unobtrusive.
And it's right
Yeah.
with something else that we don't like, so.
Right.
we hope that you like the sign, and we hope that, you know, it gets.
No, it's a
people
good
to-
idea, and I do like the map signs. I mean,
Yeah.
I must say that the signs I do like, I like those map signs.
Yeah.
Because I guess because I use them.
It's helpful to, you know, ideally, you know, if we had a robust public transport infrastructure and people were regularly coming to and from these locations, this orients you to where you are. The sign designer we're likely to retain the services of, who's going to do the surface, is going to tie in our various other cultural resources. People can look at it and know how to get to the library, safe routes to other resources in the area. So it's actually useful for pedestrians, which is the point of spending all this money. Right?
So the other thing is this commission, if you have other things that you'd like to highlight within that area. You know what I mean? We've got, it's not only about trails, but it's really, you can actually, you know, take the bus and walk down to the library and then to the school, because they did put in that sidewalk through
Yeah, yeah.
Safe Routes to School
So
program.
we got that there, and of course, there is the general store here.
Yeah, so anything, kind of any background that you guys could,
I mean, you could put, you know, the Center Street and the cemetery there.
yeah, and even like
Yeah.
I was thinking the common fields, the pond lot, you know, just sort of bringing in the larger trail network. That's because this is sort of the nexus of all of our trails in Mansfield.
Yeah, I mean, even the Fitch House, I mean, I suppose you could point out there are some architectural,
Yep,
But you don't
Interesting
want to get
architectural
it too
things.
cluttered.
no, we don't.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have to be careful. We're gonna be working with a professional who kind of does this, so we want to give him a lot of resources, but maybe like the top 3 that you all think, since you know this area well, that you think are worthy of describing, or maybe there's.
I mean, it could be just a little blurb about what the historic district is.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Yeah, that'd be
something
fantastic.
Small.
Yeah.
I have a meeting I met with our sign fabricator on Friday. And they mentioned that they are, you know, we are very early in the process. So any requests for material, if we want to go faux wood versus aluminum, right? In terms of the type of texture and things that we may want to call to people's mind, this is the time to let them know, so that way we can move forward with that. So if we have any thoughts about what we want it to look like, this is the time.
Do you have examples?
I don't, but I can get them for you.
Yeah, I think that would be useful.
Yeah, I guess a big issue with me would be just durability.
Yep, that is, I hear that all the time. I mean, I've staffed the PNRC and we are constantly in a battle of trying to stop people from stealing or knocking down our signs. So,
Or just deteriorating in terms of
Yeah,
whether
being able to clean
with-
them and.
clean them and things of that kind with type and
are you thinking that you'll indicate with the materials that it's essentially a park sign, a recreational sign? I mean, people are used to like the state and national park signs, which have a.
in the brown and
distinctive
yellow
look, yeah.
kiosk, right? No, so that's not gonna be that. If the Deep is putting up a sign, they're putting it up on their land. And I'm in talks with Matt Quinn to get one on the state parkland near our new crossing, but no, this is going to be our color palette, not theirs. So it's not gonna draw their eye in the same way.
I think that's
Does
good.
this, can this sign be unique because it's in a historic district, or do we need to, is the town going to use the same, for example, black posts? Is it gonna
So-
be black posts throughout the town, or could this one be dark green?
So that's kind of the thing, is these signs are, I'm gonna make whatever this sign is, it's going to have a twin up at the other end of the trail. I'm going to have them look the same. And we have some leeway to play with. This sign will not necessarily be the same patterning as everyone else. We do want to, if we're gonna use blues and greens, we're gonna try to match on blues and greens, but we don't have to make it look the same as everything else.
In terms of the posts, the colors, I think, as long as they're, you know, we have a green palette in our Mansfield colors, and we do have a dark green that if,
Yeah, I was going to pull up the palette using the common work folder, and then I realized this computer doesn't have access to the common work folder, which was really inconvenient. But I can send you all the color palette of our
Yeah.
standard ones that we like to use for greens, blue, red, and brown.
so we were working with our sign designer, and he was gonna draft something up. Maybe we can send those out to you.
Mhm.
But then we do wanna move forward, so I don't know when we would put in our application, the certificate of appropriateness. Can we have that received at the next meeting?
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
but if you could send that to us in the meantime, that.
Oh,
would-
yes,
Yeah,
sure.
that'll
I'll
simplify.
work on getting the materials and the color palette. The color palette's easy. I'll send that to you in about 5 minutes after this meeting is over. But I'll work on getting the materials list and some of our various options, work with our sign designer to get the mock-up of what it might look like. And we'll impose that over some of the photography as well, so you can see roughly at scale what it would look like.
But Matt, you seem to have an opinion about what would you like to see for the colors of the posts, and just some feedback that we can give to our sign designer as he comes up with a mock-up.
Do we
Well,
want?
dark green sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean,
dark
match
green would be fine.
windows in the general store across the
Yeah.
street.
same color, yeah.
And I mean, nicely, dark green
The other
post.
option is if I'm not sure, I tend to think that bus stop is dark brown.
Maybe.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't,
I think it's black.
I think you might be right, Gail, yeah.
The green roof.
Is it black?
The roof was once
Oh,
green,
black.
but now it's faded. This is black.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No.
yeah.
I guess the point is, can we kind of make them look like they blend together in some respect? Since we don't really like the bus stop there, but rather than having two very different looking things.
you could mount it to the bus stop itself.
I don't want to do that because that requires DOT, and
Oh.
as we all know,
Yes.
we don't really want to ask them for anything more than we have to. But we can work with black and dark green as primaries on those posts at least, so it kind of looks congruent to what's already there. It'll fade into the backgrounds, at least during the summer, once that's
Okay.
there, the posts themselves, and then the sign will catch your eye.
Mhm.
So I can work on that.
I had a question about the header design. Can you flip the screen?
Yep. No.
On
Yes.
one version, Mansfield is on the left, on the other, it's on the right. I thought that was a little strange. That there wasn't consistency.
Yeah.
Is there a rationale for that?
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah.
I don't know one. I can find out.
Well, I assume because this is options, so just the graphic
Yeah.
designer is
Uh-huh.
just playing with, you have a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
What do you,
Okay.
prefer? Do you want the specific location first, and then it's a subset is Mansfield, or do you want Mansfield first, and the actual location is second? So I think the graphic designer is probably just, here are options, and what do you want to emphasize first, reading
Okay.
after?
And it's going to say Mansfield Center.
We would like to say Mansfield Center if we can. We'd like to emphasize
That's
that
good.
we're in the area.
Or
Would you-
it should be historic
Yeah, I
district.
was just gonna say,
Yeah.
would you want
Yeah,
historic
we can
district to be
we can
there?
have them put a thing that says historic district.
I can.
We already have the signposts that, show the beginning and the end of the district, since this is, in the center. I'm not sure.
We are intending to put in a blurb about the historic district, that this is a historic district. I can mock up what it would look like with just Mansfield Center as opposed to Mansfield Center Historic District, right? It's more words, so it's gonna be about
Yeah, I'm
condensing.
Yeah.
the size
I
of the writing.
prefer keeping it simple and not as wordy as.
Agreed.
Okay, cool. I will scratch out that note.
Yeah, I think if we could take a look at.
Yeah, sure. I can, I'll work with the sign designer to mock up a few of those things, see if I can't get it in the right colors and palettes, and I will return to you at your next meeting.
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Great. Awesome.
Thank you.
So how many signs you putting up over town?
There's a lot of signs, but a lot of them are replacing existing ones, so it's.
So when you say trails, you putting it at other points of the,
Yep,
Nipmuc
so not on the Nipmuc, necessarily, because that's only kind of ours. I mean, it's some of it's on our property, but the trail itself is administered by the CFPA, which is a independent nonprofit. We, in this phase of the parks project, we're putting up new signs at each of the town's parks.
okay.
In some places, they've been stolen or fallen down. Some of them have entrances that are not marked. So we're kind of standardizing the design, getting them up at each of the parks with a more durable material. And that's also part of this first phase of signage, which has a lot of stuff downtown to help people figure out where they are, a lot of stuff at the parks, and a couple of other navigational signs. Road stuff is coming later.
Any consideration for, this is how non-technology I am, but the bar things that you can put your phone up to and it
A
takes.
QR
QR
yes,
code.
yes.
QR
Yes.
codes on
Yeah.
it, so if people come up to a sign, they can get more information that just goes on the signage itself.
Yeah.
Yes, we are gonna have
definitely.
QR codes
Yeah.
integrated,
Okay,
because we live in the future now.
I live in the past.
That's why we're on this commission.
That's right. We're historic
We have a
ourselves.
much better understanding of the past than the present.
Well, that's all I
Good,
have.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, all right, we're on
Agenda back
to,
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pop it.
Nice.
Absolutely, pleasure to meet you.
Finally, you get to go home.
No, I have
Bye.
nothing tonight.
Oh, right.
the adoption of the bylaws. I went through these. I have some changes I would like to make to the objectives and purpose. I went back and looked at the regs and whatever. So I'm wondering, could we kind of table this?
Sure.
Yeah, I haven't even had
For
a
the
chance to
next
look
meeting.
at it.
Yeah. I'll send you what I'm thinking.
Great, I can do like in Word, I can show Gail's proposals in red.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
Track changes.
And draft changes,
Yeah.
and then you'll be able to see the
Okay.
original language plus
okay, good.
Gail's.
And the other thing that kind of stuck out to me was, where is it? Disqualification. Normally, when you have a member who cannot vote on something because they have a conflict of interest, they recuse themselves.
Mhm.
So this disqualification sounds kind of
It's,
drastic to me.
well, and I think that's just the terminology that we use for all of the committees, so,
Oh.
but if you're, let's see, what is it?
Would you prefer recusal
Yeah,
versus
I
the
would, I
word
would,
disqualification?
yeah. I
Okay,
mean, because they should still be able to listen and just not vote.
But isn't that what it says? I think it, oh, no, maybe
No,
that
it
has
was a
more,
little sterner.
right, that has more to do with
Shunned.
alternates. Okay,
No, remember the
I'm
phrase,
thinking
you're
of
Shunned
different-
instead.
Yeah. I'm
Historic
thinking that.
I'll take a closer look at them myself. I kind of quickly glanced at it and so
Okay,
yeah, I think recusal is certainly an appropriate word to use.
okay, let's go on then to Matt, your communication. Thank you for doing it.
Right,
My pleasure, with help from staff to clean up some of the mistakes I made and then make it look a lot better. This was a stab in the dark. I mean, and so I think once we've kind of worked through what content we want to have in them, putting future editions should be, I think, a little bit easier. Tried to make it a little bit interesting. Wanted to highlight the store as a major initiative within the town, within the historic districts. It wasn't clear if we should include a smaller blurb about recent projects that we've approved or that owners have undertaken after approval, or so that's a question of whether kind of structurally we want to kind of keep people apprised of actions taken and projects undertaken in one of the three districts.
yeah, I think people might like just a single sentence about each project that's ongoing or has been approved. Just
That
to,
was my instinct, but so as the newbie, not being a member of the commission during those discussions, in an earlier version, I did a bulleted list, but to get that list, I had to go through the minutes and agendas. So
Yeah.
thinking about our website, we probably want to think about making it easier for residents to find information about commission actions, because right now they're buried.
Yeah, I think it's a good
Oh.
idea. And because we really have been kind of inactive for quite a while, we don't have a whole lot of things. So it's a good point to start
Mhm.
going forward to track and
Yeah,
put them on the website or mention them here.
And just
Yeah.
one sentence with the address would be enough. If people were interested, they could go from there. They wouldn't need much information on
Like,
the
yeah, I
note.
saw it as a way to reinforce in people's minds what types of projects come before the commission. So they could say, oh, somebody put in new windows. So if I'm thinking about putting in new windows, I need to go talk to the commission myself.
Yeah, Matt, you definitely had that in here, and as we were sort of
Yeah.
reformatting, it got pushed to the
I know.
side.
No,
So, I will definitely add that back in.
It was kind of the biggest question I had for all of you was whether you thought that would be helpful.
Yeah,
I
And
do.
then the other question is, what, is there something missing? I mean, if you were to have written one, what would you have included that's not here?
there was only one thing that I thought maybe when, and it was reinforced tonight, when you listed fences, walls, driveways, new parking area, exterior lighting. Maybe something about exterior AC, heating and solar components, because those are things I think people don't think of
Mhm.
in the same way as they do, porches and, actual parts of the house.
That makes
And I
good
think that
sense.
we're more likely to have what happened here, which is somebody just thought it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, we also should be reviewing landscaping.
Not part of our jurisdiction though?
Yeah, it
technically?
is.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay.
And
But I
that's
don't know
just,
if you want to hit people with too much.
I had a couple of
Get
other
some-
things too, just one word on in the second paragraph or the second paragraph of introduction and history. Proscribed should be prescribed. Because proscribed means forbidden. It's the opposite of prescribed.
Is
So-
this a more current version than was on in our packet? Because I
No.
found a couple of typos. And I
Uh,
didn't write them down, but.
no, I think this is what was in your.
And there's a
packet.
typo at the
There's a
end.
couple typos,
Yeah.
No big deal.
It should be advice to, and the
Yeah,
A is
that's
off of
what I-
advice, and you probably need a 2 after.
Okay, the only,
The only,
no,
I was just gonna say, go ahead.
the only thing, and this is just comes to mind, I'm just, if I bought a house and I find out it's in the historic district and I'm gonna change the windows. For me, where it says property owners are required to apply to the commission for a certificate of appropriateness, I think we should have the link there somehow, so they know exactly where do I go? What does that mean? Is it on the Mansfield website? And then there's a link there that we go to the historic commission. So I think that just, I would be lost, like, well, where do I go now?
Wasn't there I thought there was something,
Well, it's not in this newsletter. So I assume it's a
Where was it?
link under the town website.
Yep.
But I think that would just guide them.
Okay.
where it says here, yeah, the town of Mansfield staff, and then there's a little question about point of contact, so.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure if you wanted staff or you wanted someone, Gail or someone on the commission, so,
Yeah, I left that with a question mark because I wasn't sure how we wanted to recommend to homeowners how to communicate with us collectively to kind of begin a conversation about something that people have on their mind. So hence my kind of vague language.
Yeah, and we have the problem that we can't talk to each other outside of a formal meeting, so.
Well, right now, it seems, this is how we would do it in another commission. So they would contact staff and say, I want to be on the agenda. And then Gail and Jolene now meet monthly before the meeting, and then they decide, Gail as the chair decides the agenda. So it seems like they would contact staff, say, want to be on the agenda. Jolene and Gail prefer, and then they, most likely they're going to be on the agenda.
So that sounds good.
So they contact Jolene.
Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe that should, as you said, maybe that should be just right there. So they actually, having a name is great, makes people
Right.
feel,
The only
Friendly.
thing is, we encourage you to discuss your ideas. That's what I would like to have them discussing with us,
Mhm.
not to
No, they're
Right.
not.
push
but
Jillian's
once
position. but-
they contact her, then she contacts you, right? That's how you
So-
got it worked out now.
So maybe as a result, we encourage you to contact Jolene and just discuss your ideas right out
with the
Okay.
commission.
Yeah, yeah,
for further instructions
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah, for further instruction. We do encourage them to come
Mhm.
talk to us before they do the formal.
Or they buy
application.
their lamp posts.
Yeah, before they buy their laptops. Matt, the only comment I had was I would just start with introduction and history, and maybe that little blurb at the beginning, I'm not sure
It's fine.
is doing too much.
And I was a little, it says a certificate of appropriateness is not required for, and I wasn't quite sure where this texture came in. Was that design or texture? Was that supposed to be after the previous dot, or
Yep.
what does texture refer to?
Yeah, no, texture is supposed to be after design. That was a formatting problem that I was
Okay.
working through. Yeah.
It's a funky template.
Oh, you're not
Okay.
kidding.
Yeah, no, I can help fix things. Just let me know what I can do.
I wonder if you have the members, on the left and the sidebar, and I say,
Do you want that on the front page?
oh, that's a good idea.
The members on the front page? How do you feel about Matt putting the members on the front page?
Yeah, absolutely. No
And then
pride of
maybe I can
authorship here.
put the recent projects where the members are currently list the recent projects,
Oh,
the
yeah.
recent approvals.
But under the members, I think maybe you could say, so it's highlighted to, contact Jolene, put your contact right there, Jolene, so that they know to contact you to get on the agenda.
Yep.
So it jumps.
Okay, put myself under everybody, yes.
This will be the most organized we've ever been. I will say that.
So I think we
So,
can make changes and email and go back and forth
Okay,
through staff. So that we don't have to wait for the next meeting
okay.
to finalize it. I think it's okay for us to correspond about. I'll make the changes we talked about today. I'll send it out to everybody and then you can send me back your comments and we can
Okay.
kind of keep it rolling. Is that okay with you, Matt?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So I have a
Those are
question
on the website?
kind of based
So-
on this evening's discussion, and again, it's my newness, so it was hard to follow that conversation, partly because I'm on Zoom, but partly because he didn't come with something, not even remotely, I mean, I understand it, you don't want him to come with a application for a certificate, but as part of that kind of inputting ideas into our work that homeowners are contemplating, is there something we could ask them to bring to that kind of scoping conversation like we had with the gentleman?
I'm hoping this
Oh.
is an unusual situation. I mean, this is an absentee landlord that bought a house for UConn students. Two of them happen to be his daughters right now. His
Right.
long-term interest in that property, I have to say,
Short term, probably.
yeah.
No,
So I'm
I'm
not sure.
thinking of, if somebody calls Jolene and says, I'm thinking about A, B, and C, and Jolene says, okay, after talking with Gail, come to our next meeting. What should we expect of that homeowner to come with? I understand we're not asking them to come with an application, but
Questions, we're asking them to
Yeah,
come with
it
questions.
wouldn't hurt if they came with any quick sketches or images of the
Mhm.
things you're thinking of buying or installing.
I mean, they may not be at that point.
Right. But you probably didn't know the number of things that he was gonna bring up.
No, I knew, I actually, met with him at his house unannounced. Because of the changes that were going on. And at that time, the list kind of, as we were standing in the yard, the list went on and on and on. I asked him to put together a plan to submit to you folks. I didn't hear back. I then wrote him the letter that was in your packet, and he came to see me. And he again gave me this very comprehensive list where I said, you really need to come to the commission so that you understand
okay.
what
Mhm.
needs, and I asked him to also stop any work until that happened.
So is he also having to deal with other town agencies, like with the driveway and stuff, is and building permits?
Oh, yeah.
Driveway, if he changes the location of the curb cut, that's actually a DOT issue because 195 is a state road. If he changes anything structural, he's got to come to me for a zoning permit. And building permits, are required for
Yeah, so
most of this
he
work.
keeps mentioning the 17-foot setback. Is that a town thing?
That
or
is
that
not,
some-
I don't know that,
Yeah.
I'm not
State right
clear.
away?
That's what I'm
Probably.
thinking.
Could be,
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so there's stuff I wasn't sure.
could
I didn't
be,
want
yeah.
the tendency to go on.
The
So
way we do it in other boards and commissions or with PZC, and also we have them do a pre-application. So they're giving you a lot of information. They know what they have to come to you with. Sometimes people may not be there yet, and that's probably good. Then you can kind of talk to them about the history of their property. But I think to your point that if you had something to react to as part of this pre-application, and with PZC, it's always, this is non-binding. This is not guaranteed that your application is going to get approved, but then they have to submit these application materials. So it's almost, they would submit almost everything that they would for an application, but knowing that they're coming here to get your advice.
yeah, I think what would have helped him is if we had just a checklist. So he walked out, we said, anything that, we need to know size, we need to know material. Then he could go through that and say, oh, I need to get the size that, I'm just saying, putting a lamp post, but he didn't tell us it's 6 feet or 20 feet. So I think if we gave them a sort of a checklist, when they came back the next time, we could say we'd like photos or drawings of the actual things
Mhm.
you're thinking of
Mhm.
putting in. So a
Yeah, I see
checklist would
that.
give him something to go out of here with, because he didn't make any notes or anything, so he may just write.
But that first meeting, I think often with people, it's really exploratory and educational. And I'm not thinking we need any sort of pre-application, but rather get information to them in terms of what we will want to see. And if they have it ahead of time, all the better, but I'm thinking not many people are gonna have it.
Now, I got the impression, I didn't realize that it seemed like he was thinking on his feet and things were just
That's-
occurring to him. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize that
Well,
there
some
had
of
been
the-
a list.
Yeah, so I think it was clear that some of the information had changed over
Metal roof to
The-
asphalt.
the metal
to his
roof
wife,
to the
apparently.
asphalt, yeah. So, we could
Sympathize.
certainly follow up with a letter from you. Thank you for coming.
Mhm.
In
Yeah,
the
that's a good idea.
future, at a future
Mhm.
meeting, we would anticipate seeing, and we could make that list.
Mhm.
Size, shape, color,
Mhm.
Yeah.
whatever that list
Yeah,
may be,
yeah.
we could follow up to give him something to then react to,
Mhm.
if you think that that would be worthwhile.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me play devil's advocate about the pre-application, because I'm actually intrigued with that idea in a sense that maybe I'm overreacting to the thinking on your feet, making things up as you go presentation we had earlier today from the homeowner, but it strikes me a really simple pre-application requirement helps focus people and reduces the risk of having somebody, 6 months later say, oh, I forgot to tell you, or something came up and I decided to do it differently, and I just, I'm
Well,
not
our
sure what's.
approvals are pretty specific.
Is it something you think you could attach to this newsletter?
Well, we could certainly use a newsletter to circulate. I'm just thinking it might take a little time for us to figure out what we would ask of somebody who's kind of coming in with some rough ideas. What would we ask of them before that first meeting? What would we have asked this fellow to tell us before coming today? I'm not sure, and I think we want to try to get this newsletter out a little sooner, was my impression, but.
And
We
this
can hold.
was, at least in my experience, this was the most amorphous presentation we have ever had.
Right.
This is
Okay.
very typical. Usually it's specific
Yeah.
when they come, even for information.
Okay, well, that's reassuring.
And he seemed to change his mind as we were talking about.
Yeah,
what he
I
was
mean,
showing them.
He was
Okay.
set and sat on vinyl siding and vinyl window. It was without understanding how that would affect our, our.
Yeah, getting
approvals.
approval, yeah.
Is
So
there
we learned that.
information about that house? Because I know each house is like listed. Do you have any information about that house that we could provide him?
Well, all the houses that were in the district, I think, have their own little blurbs. In
'Cause
the
that would be
initial,
really
there was
nice
a
to,
booklet put out.
Well, that's
when-
why I said, do you have any information on that?
Right, and so
Spring Hill
that's,
District. and
that's
what-
available.
he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, that's really,
Could include that with the letter.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. That way he knows kind of what
Yeah.
you're looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could definitely do that, as well as a
Okay.
copy of the statute.
And he's right across the street from the head of the
Right,
Historical Society in town.
right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
And that's the house with the car.
Oh,
he
okay.
came before us.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
That part went in there and.
yeah, is that the one he said had vinyl siding? That doesn't have vinyl siding.
No, it doesn't, so.
I didn't want to get into an argument, but. The only other thing I was gonna mention was, Jillian and I, worked with the, the church.
Yes, yes, and I have an update on that, actually,
Oh,
when you're
okay.
finished.
I don't know if you are aware that a car ran into the sign that we had approved a number of years ago, in Spring Hill, and I
It's
went
pretty
over
far
there.
in.
The car came onto the property,
Yikes.
straight down through the sign and out onto Browns Road. Is that Browns Road?
Spring Hill.
Spring Hill.
Yes.
Nowhere near 195, and there were bits and pieces of the headlight and whatever.
And the
Took
sign,
whole
bits and
thing
pieces of the
out.
sign.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they wanted to just replace it as it was, so.
They have since requested that they be able to install a very small light on the top
Oh, okay.
to shine down
Uh-huh.
onto the sign.
Do they have electricity?
Solar,
They'll
I
probably have to
believe it
put
will be
in.
solar. Yeah.
low voltage cable. Right.
I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah,
I didn't think so, but I wanted to just mention it too.
We could probably get away with that by just saying we already approved this. thing.
It was unbelievable.
They do go fast on that road. Oh my, God, that's scary.
I'm surprised that they didn't go through the barn. The other side of Spring Hill Road there, that old barn.
I
Yeah,
know, that's
yeah.
kind of exactly where it came out.
Mhm.
Okay, do we have anything else? What else do we have?
I think that's all we have today. That was a
Okay.
lot.
That was enough.
I think so, this is our longest meeting ever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Great, so,
Ah,
motion
boy.
to
Adjourn?
adjourn,
Yes, I moved to adjourn.
I second it.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Bye, Matt. Thank you.
Great to see everybody.
Great job.
Yeah, really. Thanks.
Know
Appreciate it.
Thanks so
the-
much.
That lifespan company.